Hey everyone, happy Saturday and welcome to a Saturday episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. This is going to be a short one because I limited myself to 3 hours today here at the shop. Got here at about 9, a few minutes to 9, it's a few minutes after 12 right now. I'm going to film this video, close up the shop, and go home. Try and enjoy the rest of my weekend. Anyhow, for those of you that have been following the saga here, I wanted to take a little bit of a break from the front of this car, even though it's pretty much done. I mean, like I mentioned, I just got to connect some brake lines and stuff, and then we'll bleed the brakes and stuff. Well, I'll get back to bleeding the brakes, but yeah, let me come back to that. So the plan on the back of this car was to pretty much swap in adjustable spring plates, so non-drop, because he doesn't want to go like super slammed, but still have some adjustability and be able to fine-tune the ride height and stuff like that. And so the main plan was, or the plan that is, was to just swap in those spring plates. Relatively simple job. You can pretty much unbolt the axle from the spring plates, even with the drums and everything intact, and just swing them out of the way. You can then remove the spring plates, put the new ones in, index them, etc. However, when I started tearing the back of the car apart, well, actually, as soon as I pulled off the rear driver's side wheel, I noticed that, I hate to touch this because my hands are clean, but I noticed that the drum on the driver's side was just wet. Like, obviously something was leaking in here, and I kind of suspected that it was brake fluid. And when I pulled the thing apart, pretty much everything in there was soaked. And the big and is that even if it wasn't, I mean, there is maybe a millimeter of brake shoe material left on there. So this thing definitely was overdue for a brake job. It would have been just the fact that everything was soaked with brake fluid. Even if the pads were new, we would have had to throw them out, or the shoes rather, and put new ones in. But yeah, everything was soaked. And so on this side, I think the axle wasn't actually leaking on this side, but the brake wheel cylinder was. And so that's why that drum was all wet. On this side, of course, it's all apart now, but the brakes inside the backing plate, everything was pretty dry in there. However, I saw a lot of evidence that the axle seal itself was leaking. So leaky axle seal on one side, leaky wheel cylinder on the other, just pretty much a complete mess. And so we got to go and do a complete rear brake job. We never really change a wheel cylinder on one side, even though this side seems like it was fine and it actually looks a little newer, like somebody changed it at some point but didn't bother changing the other side. Don't do that. These parts are not that expensive. You always change things like wheel cylinders in pairs. So yeah, both sides will be getting new wheel cylinders, new brake shoes, obviously, everything cleaned up. We'll reseal the axles, of course. We use these kits from Wolfsburg West and install them for a leak-free operation very carefully, how we go through the process. And and then at the same time, I will swap in the original plan, swap in the spring plates and get this thing all dialed in. But this is number one, a safety issue. I don't think these back brakes were even working. They sure weren't doing a hell of a lot, as wet as that other side was, and it didn't have much meat left on it anyway. So yeah, it's got to be done. Kind of a bummer because the owners already had to essentially pay us to completely rebuild, swap parts, and even make some changes on his front air-cooled pro-built beam. So yeah, this has ended up being a lot bigger project than anticipated, but again, poorly built parts from a supplier, and then unanticipated brake issues. But again, we can't send a car off like this. I can't just ignore that and slap it back together and you know, kind of turn a blind eye towards something like leaky brakes, because it can be dangerous, needless to say. So there we go. The owner does want to later upgrade his transmission and his motor. And so some of this work will be a little bit redundant, but his brakes will be all nice and new now and everything. And those and the backing plate and all that stuff will transfer on to the new or rebuilt transmission. And the main redundant thing is just having to reseal the axles when the transmission, either this one rebuilt or another one if he gets it outright. You have to reseal the axles, obviously, and kind of bolt everything back together. But the work that we're doing here on the brakes, all the new brake parts, all that'll just transfer over. So no huge loss there. But yeah, so that is pretty much it for today, guys. Made some good headway on this. Again, a lot of work that I hadn't really expected to do. If it was just a matter of swapping the spring plates, I probably would have finished the whole job in 3, maybe 4 hours. Might not have quite finished it today, but been pretty far along at least. But yeah, so I'll have to pick up some brake shoes and wheel cylinders and stuff like that Monday and get this thing back together. So that would be it for today, guys. Appreciate you watching. I think I mentioned yesterday I will probably tomorrow post a video that I did a review essentially on this pro-built beam. Just my observations and stuff, you know, trying to not be too opinionated about it versus like just showing the facts as I saw when I tore it apart and put it back together. Observations from the perspective of a mechanic who also happens to be an engineer in his former life. So yeah, look for that tomorrow if you're interested. And in the meantime, I will see you guys, well, I guess tomorrow and then Monday. So hope everyone enjoys the rest of your weekend. Thanks for watching. Bye.